Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion here on this glorious day. Could pound big, heavy 10-pound drops on us though, soon, and Sophie. Cut it short or duck into the woods, or I don't know. You'll know what's happening. Anyway, so my name is Kimberly Quinn, and I am thrilled to be here on this glorious, glorious cloudy morning with the Budweiser Symphony. There are a lot of frogs in this pond, I'm just saying. There's like teenagers that still have their tail. There's the babies are gone, the big fat pollywogs. But anyway, some salamanders. There's little G. Say hi, little G. Okay, so today, I've done things before, done at least one thing before on authentic leadership, and this is like a little different spin, additional spin. And so if you're wondering, oh, she bounces around all over the place. Weren't we just talking about depression and spirituality? You're right, we were. And I do bounce around because I follow my heart. In addition to my fast mind, I'm led around this planet by my heart. And it's kind of like what comes into me. Sometimes it's also what I'm experiencing in my own life. Sometimes it's what I'm reading. Sometimes it's what people say to me. Because remember, the inspiration is in spirit. It's just what lands with us, right? And so I follow what lands with me, and so far it's worked out pretty okay. Okay, so as far as effective leadership, authentic leadership, what I'm adding to this time, because I did not say it the last time, I don't believe, is that this is a one-size-fits-all situation. Oh, and even though I bounce around all over the place like I'm doing at this minute, there's still a main theme, which is authenticity. No matter what it is I'm talking about, authenticity, meaning, purpose, value, living your best life. That's all, no matter what it is, whatever the topic is. Okay, so back to leadership. It is not one size fits all. So it's kind of like, I think people forget that. Good, well-meaning leaders forget that, especially if they're not parents, because that matters. And it doesn't mean you have to have been a parent to be a good leader. I'm not saying that either, because certainly there are plenty of leaders out there who are not parents who are good leaders. However, in my opinion, it really helps, because I'm not sure this would come to you unless you were a parent or somehow it happened organically in some other way. But just like parenting, we have five, the Fab Five now, plus 2 daughters-in-law. Okay, but raising the five kids, we don't parent. You'd also know this if you were a teacher, actually. We don't parent a 10-year-old like we would parent a 5-year-old. Even that short distance, that's huge developmentally. We wouldn't parent a teenager the way we parent a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. And we wouldn't parent a young adult. We need to let the rope out lots and lots as we would parent a teenager or a younger elementary age child. Yet sometimes leaders get locked into this, and they manage, people, new employees fresh out of college or maybe graduate school in their 20s, the same as you would manage a midlifer or somebody in the middle in their 30s or 40s with their own kids. And it's not the same. And it doesn't work well. It's not effective. It is not effective, and it can cause problems. It can cause a real big rift, even when nobody's, when you're not realizing it. So, somebody fresh out of college or graduate school, 20s, maybe 30, might really do well with I don't want to say my way or the highway, but just a lot of direction. And we all need some direction from our leaders, right? That's what they're there for, right? To provide us with direction and also support, and hopefully to bring out the best in us. But this doesn't happen when we don't get it, that leadership is not one size fits all. When we don't get that, it causes problems, because that person who's, let's say, 25 or 28 or maybe 30, they have a little bit of experience maybe by 30, but they're looking for, some real strong direction, and for you to kind of just, say, not tell them what to do like they're, enlisted or something, but they're more dependent on that kind of structure and guidance than somebody who's more seasoned. Again, it doesn't mean the more seasoned person doesn't need direction, but the more seasoned person, just like you would amp up the explanation, disciplinary explanation even, with a teenager than you would with a 5-year-old. 5-year-old would have 2 choices, like ketchup or mustard. That's it. Or it's not, you need to share your toys, and, just basic. The teenager, and definitely the young adult, are going to want to know, not necessarily disciplinary, just in general, maybe why we're making this move, or why this school is better for you, or why it's maybe better for you to choose one of the activities because you're overextended. with a 5-year-old, you would just say, pick one, karate or dance or whatever, right? But with a teenager, you would have more of a discussion. Well, amp that up in the seasoned adult world, in the workplace, and it's not different. Somebody in their midlife is going to want and need a whole lot more agency. Not just, we're taking your office, we need it for somebody else. Or not just, well, we're going to move you here because, okay? It's just, that's not going to work well. And there's going to be some sort of, the season crew is going to resist and rebel differently. But the point is, really what the main problem is it affects trust. And obviously, a happy employee is a more productive employee. And also the longevity, because in the broad sense, there are two ways to lead, right? There's respect and there's fear. One lasts a whole lot longer than the other one. And also the productivity, the creativity, the whole well-being situation will be better if somebody is leading with respect. So like the my way or the highway, this is what we're doing kind of thing, even if it seems more subtle, there's everybody smiling and talking about this is what we're going to be doing. Instead of saying, this is what I'd like to do, what are your thoughts? How do you feel? That is how somebody should be managing and leading with somebody who's, it's tough to pick an actual age because everybody's different, but definitely like mid to late 30s, 40s, definitely the 50s. In the 50s, they're going to be retired probably within the next, 5 or 10 years. People are a whole different place. Many, they've had lives, they've been around the block a ton of times. Anybody who's lived to be, 55, 65 has had some heartache going. It's much better to realize and get when you lead what life stage that person is in who you are having a conversation with. Because you're having a talk with a 25-year-old or a 55-year-old, that conversation over the same exact thing should be much, much, much different. Way different. I think a lot of leaders don't realize that, and it causes big problems. Okay, and then the next one we talked about before, I'm just going to add to it, is to be an active listener, true in life. Rather than thinking about what you're going to say next, have the approach of tell me more. You don't have to say that. You can say that, I guess. Tell me more, because it's actively listening, but it's also listening deeply. Realize that when that person, that employee's in the chair or the couch or walking, whatever you're doing to have the conversation, realize that employee is all you care about in that moment. Just be 100% mindful and attentive with her, him, or them in that moment, with the attitude, because it'll come across if you don't say it. We can feel when somebody is authentically in our ribcage, not in a violating way, but authentically really listening and conveying, just 100% and just 100% present. We can totally feel that. So actively listen and listen deeply as if your life depended on it, and there's no one more important in that situation than that employee. Even if you're getting ready to fire them, they're still the most important thing you have going on in those minutes. Okay, and to treat them like you would treat yourself. Okay, that can be hard to do. We can forget the golden rule, but you can't go wrong with it. Pretend like you're in the chair being fired. How would you talk to you? Pretend you're in the chair and somebody's saying, well, we really want to give up the office you've had and you're so happy in, and give it to somebody else, or we just want to move you for the heck of it. Be yourself in those shoes and see, how does that feel? Or whatever it is you're making a change with. We'd like to change departments. We'd like to, whatever. And then the last one for now, only because I try to keep these videos, short. I mean, we're talking about being authentic. When we take our authenticity into anything we do, we bring success to it. Whether you're a leader, whether you're not a leader, you're an employee, you're just starting out in the workforce, whether you're a parent, a partner, a child, anywhere along the child developmental spectrum, whether you're out there, a best friend, a sibling, whatever you're doing, you bring your authenticity, you will bring success, even to changing a diaper. Okay, to making hot dogs on the grill, bring success to it. Okay, so the last thing is, as a leader, to be super effective and have the highest degree of workplace well-being, is also to have a sense of humor. Hey, crack a joke, make funnies, put memes up, put stuff up on the walls. Be fun. People that are having fun are also going to be more apt to be happy, therefore productive, and therefore last longer. Because here's the thing, it comes back to mindfulness, also gratitude. Mindfulness, I'll stay with that right now. When we are laughing because somebody cracked a joke or there's a funny something hanging up in the office. When we're laughing, we can't be anxious in that moment. When we're laughing, we can't be angry. When we're laughing, we can't be frustrated, sad, distressed. All we are doing is laughing. We are in that moment. It's that spontaneity that actually brings joy. So have a sense of humor. If you don't think you're that funny person, then again, reach out with funny stuff to put on the walls. Ask for help. Gotta have fun. There are ways to have fun in the office, and it brings that human element. And then lastly, I didn't really add this in the beginning, but to have the attitude, even if you don't say it, that so and so, even if I don't care if you're a CEO of Goldman Sachs, okay, have the attitude of all the employees who supposedly work under you, they work with me. When you speak of so and so who works with us, not for us, with us, nothing's going to happen to your power differential. They get it. They know who's signing the checks. They know what happens if they're late too many times. Trust me, they know. But if you change your words, it brings authenticity and respect and trust and appreciation into your relationship. So and so who works with me, not for me. Okay. Authentic, effective leadership. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off for Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.